I'm going to begin with prepping the bride's skin with a moisturizer. I'm using Kiehl's Ultra Facial Moisturizer and the avocado eye cream to prep under her eyes. Next, I'm going to prep her eyelids with the Marc Jacobs Perfecting Coconut Eye Primer. Next, I'm using the Morphe eyebrow pencil, and I'm going to be using more of a taupe brown color in the inner corners of the eyebrow, and then use a more medium to dark shade brown on the outer corners, and that's going to create more of a natural ombre eyebrow look. Don't worry about getting the eyebrows perfect. A little trick I like to use is using a flat brush and concealer, and I'll go in and clean up any of the areas I messed up. It's also great for covering small fine hairs. Now I'm going to start the eyeshadow. I like to start with the eyes first, especially if I'm using glitters or dark colors. That way none of the shadow gets on the foundation. I'm using a soft brown for the crease, and I'm using a blending brush, and I'm just going to do circular motions and sweep it back and forth from one corner of the eye to the other. And I just want this to be a really soft, smoky look. Next, I'm going to be using a rose gold eyeshadow and a flat brush, and I'm going to press the eyeshadow onto the lower eyelid and the inner corners of the eye. And I like to do more of a tapping motion rather than sweeping, that way the glitter stays in its place and doesn't mix too much with the other eyeshadow. Now I'm going to take a small brush and a really light iridescent eyeshadow, and I'm going to highlight her brow bone. And this is going to lift the eye and also contrast really beautifully with that soft brown color. Now I'm using Marc Jacobs Glam Glitter eyeshadows, and I'm just going to go over the existing shimmer on the eyelid, and this is just going to really make it pop and add that beautiful glow. Next, I'm using a brown gel eyeliner, and I'm going to smudge it out with a brown shadow to create a really smoky, soft eyeliner look. And you want to blend that brown shadow in an upward motion because we are going to be using that color in the inner corners of her eyes to create more depth. Now I'm using that same brown color, and I'm just going to work that color into the inner corner of her eye and just blend it out really softly. Now I'm using a clean blending brush, and I'm just going to buff out any harsh lines that I see and just make sure it's blended really soft and seamlessly. Now I'm just putting on some mascara before I put on the false lashes. Now when you put on the eyelashes, you just want to make sure the glue is a little sticky and tacky before you apply them. That way the glue doesn't get on your eyeshadow. Next up, I'm going to be prepping the bride's skin with a smoothing primer, and then applying her foundation with a brush and using my beauty blender to blend out any harsh lines and just give it that really beautiful airbrush look. Now I'm going to be concealing her under eyes, and I'm going to use a small flat brush and work the inner corner of the eyes outward. Now I'm using a lighter shade of concealer, and I'm going to use it as a highlight to brighten up under the eyes and the T-zone area where the light naturally hits. Now I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder and my beauty blender, and I'm going to press the powder underneath the eyes and in the T-zone. This is going to help the concealer stay in place, also going to block out some of the oil in the T-zone area and help the makeup stay on longer. Next, I'm using a bronzing powder and a round bronzing brush, and I'm just going to do a really light sweep on the cheekbones, around the forehead, the nose area, and under the chin, and this is just going to really create that beautiful soft glow and warm up the makeup. Now I'm using a liquid blush and I'm blending it out with my beauty blender, and this is just going to give it that really soft and glowy natural look. Now I'm using a highlight and a fan brush, and I'm just going to dust the highlight on the bridge of the nose, the top of the cheekbones, on top of the lip, and this is just going to really bring the whole glowiness of the look together. Now I'm using the same brown shadow that I used in the eyeshadow look, and I'm putting that color underneath the eyes, and I'm just going to smudge it out really softly to create a beautiful smoky under eye. And I'm also using that same rose gold glitter in the inner corners of the eye, and that's just going to tie the whole eyeshadow look together. Now I'm using a soft pink lip liner, and I'm going to add a little fullness to her lips and also use this color as the base of her lipstick with a beautiful iridescent gloss over. And this is going to complete the glowy summer bridal look.